Aundrea Gomez, Tennessee leader organizing, educating, and encouraging activist. I'm going to stop there because you do a better job than I do. Come on out here, Aundrea.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to see y'all on this beautiful day. I may have spoken to some of your groups before. I just recently gave myself a little promotion to engaged citizen. So I am actively a volunteer activist, just like everyone else here now. And I'm going to take us back to the subject of the FBI. And you're probably wondering, why would she be talking about the FBI? We've already had all these FBI whistleblowers in here talking. Some of you may remember back in January, I traveled the state of Tennessee with Steve Friend, FBI whistleblower, and good friend with Kyle Seraphin, and we were colleagues at our previous organization. And so after Steve's visit, where he was educating y'all on the problems within the FBI, just like you heard from Kyle today, we decided we needed to come up with a plan for Tennessee to defang the FBI in the state of Tennessee, to protect Tennessee, protect the citizens of Tennessee from a weaponized Bureau of Investigation. Does that sound good? Does that sound like something you'd like to hear more about? A solution, right? So you are already aware of the dire situation that we are in. It's 11:59, and our individual liberties and our state sovereignty are under constant attack from a weaponized federal government. The rule of law is crumbling, while a variety of three-letter agencies repeatedly step out of bounds, setting their own agenda, making their own rules, and targeting American citizens who disagree with the state-approved narrative and standard of law, most notably the FBI and the Department of Justice. I can't see. Do we have slides going?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've already heard from Kyle about the mission creep and the quota system, the incentives to boost crime and terrorism statistics in order to justify their multi-billion-dollar budget. That comes from you and I. So we can go ahead and skip all the way to slide 4, because I'm kind of going through some things quickly that Kyle has already covered with y'all today. I do want to take you to a story of an example right here in Tennessee that happened to Paul Vaughn and 11 other pro-life activists. They were targeted by the FBI for singing and praying at an abortion clinic in Wilson County in 2021. 17 months after that particular incident, they were swatted by the FBI, charged and convicted with felony FACE Act violations. So this is one example of how the FBI has become the enforcement agency to inflict punishment on conservatives. So I'm going to share with you a tool that our founders understood and employed in order to rein in tyranny. It's called the doctrine of lesser magistrates. This is a concept that declares that when a higher civil authority acts unjustly, the lesser civil authority has a right and a duty to refuse to obey the superior authority. It's the idea that if the federal government is going to terrorize Tennesseans, a state legislator, a governor, or a county sheriff could and should interpose or place themselves between the unjust law or decree and the people. Unfortunately, the federal government knows how to manipulate the lesser magistrates through funding. That brings us to our current situation where local politicians merely do the bidding of their federal masters. We, the people, have a duty to hold them accountable and demand that they fulfill their role to oppose tyranny. This doctrine of lesser magistrates was the inspiration for the legislation that I will be bringing forward in 2025 again to defang the FBI in Tennessee. Next slide. So we know the FBI is limited in their staffing, and therefore they heavily rely on local law enforcement to enhance their numbers as well as provide investigative experience and knowledge. Next slide. The FBI regularly invites local law enforcement agencies to nominate personnel to be deputized as federal task force officers. One such task force is the Joint Terrorism Task Force that investigates domestic terrorists, such as pro-life activists and moms who speak at school board meetings. And then the local officers that are nominated to be on the JTTF, they receive a top secret security clearance to work those cases. Now they report to the FBI. Next slide. The chief law enforcement officers that you elect and pay for with your tax dollars are disempowered from fulfilling their duty of oversight of sworn personnel. So if the FBI decided to target conservative Christians exercising their First Amendment rights in your county sheriff currently would have no knowledge and therefore no opportunity to exercise the doctrine of lesser magistrates and intervene on your behalf. Next slide. So what is the solution? The solution is to restore the balance of power. The legislation that I'm proposing for 2025, written by Steve Friend, does exactly that. It will require your chief law enforcement officer to approve each national security investigation in which a nominee of a joint terrorism task force participates. That means if the FBI wants to use county sheriff deputies to investigate a group of citizens who regularly attend conservative political events, the county sheriff must approve. So what will this accomplish? Number one, it empowers your county sheriff with the knowledge of what is being investigated in his county. Number two, it gives the chief law enforcement an opportunity to exercise the doctrine of lesser magistrates and uphold his sworn oath to protect and serve. If any county sheriff or police chief is uncomfortable defying unjust laws or decrees and prefers to concede to the federal government, you'll find out very quickly. Number three, the proposed legislation empowers you, the citizens. Your county sheriff is accountable to you. You elect them, you pay their salaries with your tax dollars. If he is unwilling to risk political security for the sake of justice, you have an opportunity to elect a new sheriff. And finally, since the FBI relies heavily on local law enforcement, their unchecked agenda will be thwarted. All right, final slide, slide 10, please. So I have a call to action. I'm going to need your help. Passing a bill in the General Assembly is not an easy task. I don't have a big lobbying firm behind me. I just have you, the grassroots citizens. So here's what I'm going to ask of you. Number one, understand the problems of the FBI. I'll have a resource on the last page, and I can get this out to you if you'd like as well. It's a series of videos from Steve Friend, 10 short videos that lay out all of the problems within the FBI. So you need to understand what those problems are. Number two, understand this proposed legislation. Understand what the bill will actually do. It's a very simple bill. It is one sentence long, and it just puts that power back into your chief law enforcement officer's hands. Number three, I need you to support this bill. It hasn't been filed yet because it's too early, so after November it will get filed and I'll have a bill number to share. But I'll need you to support this legislation. And the way you'll be able to support that is through sharing and influencing with the people in your life. Citizens, your state legislators, that means your state rep and your state senator, and your county sheriff. I'm going to need you to have conversations and encourage them to support this legislation because in turn, it's going to protect all of us. And then finally, of course, pray. God's law is the higher law to whom all men and governments of men are accountable. And if you are interested in reading more about the doctrine of lesser magistrates, there's a great book by Matt Truella, and I highly recommend that you read and learn the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. All authority comes from God, and then civil authority is at the bottom. They work for us, we the people. And I look forward to talking to you more about this in 2025 and getting this across the finish line. Thank you.